Happy Wednesday, one and all, and welcome to Personal FX, the Collectibles show. John, your favorite doll is in the house.
Oh, really? Who's that?
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
Guests come to the apartment to get a free appraisal. We have 3 G.I. Joes that are going to be appraised, and some very unusual tiles. I have not seen them before. Maybe our appraisers have. And we also have a whale's tooth. As always, after the appraisal, the guests can decide whether they want to put these items up for sale.
Great. And in our continuing celebration of Black History Month on today's show, we are going to be looking at the collectability of some early black athletes and just what is that market doing right now. That's going to be interesting. Also, J.D. is on the road for us today. He is in Longwood, Florida with the president of the Federation of Historical Bottle Collectors. This gentleman has over 1,000 bottles. We're going to take a look at them.
So you certainly don't want to miss today's Personal FX.
But old soldiers never die.
Gentlemen, I
Welcome to today's Personal FX. Glad you joined us, just like Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
Stony Brook, Long Island.
Glad you're here. What are you going to have appraised today?
The tiles that we're not sure.
Yeah, do you know anything? Where did you get those? What do we know about
had
those?
bought the contents of a home, and they were in there, and we've been investigating, but haven't.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, Claire Carter just whispered in my ear before we played the music that those things are worth $2 million each. So good luck.
Sold.
Sold already.
Exaggeration.
That was simple. Yeah, now if we can find a buyer, we'll be in good shape. If you'd like to be a guest in our FX apartment, it's real simple. This is what you do. You call us at the Sprint-sponsored 1-800-FX-FX-FX1 number. That's not the number you use to place bids. That's if you want to come be on the show. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call. All right, let's go out to Longwood, Florida, where J.D. is visiting with today's Super Collector. Hi there, J.D.
Hey, John, how are you?
Good.
We're here today to find out everything you ever wanted to know about bottles and flasks, and we come to the right place. This is Carl Sturm, and as you mentioned before, he is the president of the Federation of Historical Bottle Collectors, and you've been collecting bottles and flasks for 38 years?
Just about that, yes.
Now, Carl has an interesting story on how it all began. How did you begin collecting?
Well, my wife and I decided to change the decor of the home and go into early American. All of the books that we looked at and everything, pictures showed a bottle in the window, so we thought we'd buy a bottle or two.
For the look, to establish the look.
And the first thing you know, we had a house full.
That's right, and now it's gone to 1,000 and beyond.
And beyond.
Really.
It's a disease.
And Carl has some very interesting bottles dating back to the 1700s, and we're going to take a closer look when we come back, John.
Yeah, he's got them clearly displayed beautifully. So
yes, he does, and we'll tell you how he does that. He has an interesting way of displaying his bottles so that you can read the print.
Oh, good, good. Well, we'll check in with the two of you a little bit later on.
All right.
All right. Jennifer says he's ready to get into some appraisals, so Claire, I know you got Jeff in the gang over there.
Certainly do, and Jeff brought his G.I. Joe dolls. The only dolls that you ever had as a kid, right?
That's right.
Do I remember right? And meet Bob Connolly and Jerry Harrelson. Before we go any further, John, did you check out Bob's tie today?
Bob's tie.
We're not appraising your tie, Bob, but it is very different.
He's from Atlanta, so it's got to be a hawk, right?
That's right, the Atlanta Hawks. Way to go,
Or it's
Bob.
a falcon.
A falcon. I prefer the Hawks at the moment, though.
Okay.
And your tie, is that Eagles on your tie?
Well,
What do
no,
you think?
because of John, it's a hawk or a
Thank
falcon.
you. Okay.
Thank you,
Now I
Bob.
feel better. We got that off, and we can start with our first appraisal. You've been playing with these since you were how old?
Well, I got them when I was about 8 years old, first started, about 64, 65.
And you knew enough
Some of
to
the
keep
earliest
them.
ones, and my brother had some of them later, the adventure team.
How nice.
And they've been around since.
Well, good for you for keeping them, and you brought some clothes as well.
There's, yeah.
Well, we've seen a few G.I. Joes on before.
Just a few.
Just a few here and there. And as he said, these are 64s and 70-ish. Even though they were all marked 1964, some of them came out in the 70s. And they're part of this guy. Was he the pilot?
Yeah, I think he's 64, 68.
Yeah.
He was actually the pilot, not the German. He has the scar on the face. And of course, let's see if this one talks.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe, U.S.
A
Army.
little hard to hear, but that's
Little
okay.
hard. So we have two action teams. The talker is worth, what, $100?
$100, $150 with this condition.
Yeah. This fellow here, he's probably worth 100, 150, somewhere in that area with their clothing.
This one a little less because he's got a missing hand.
Yep, he
He's
Okay,
been
that's down to
amputated.
what?
About $50.
$50?
$50.
And the other one?
This is unusual because it has the later German uniform on, but actually this is the pilot, the early G.I. Joe. And
He's worth what?
probably 200 is the doll, but the uniform and accessories, I'd put this at 500 and possibly a little more.
Yeah,
the whole
G.I.
thing.
entire.
The whole
About
thing.
$600 with all those accessories. He's got lots of accessories there.
Good thing you kept
Yeah.
it since you were a kid. We'd understand if you want to continue to keep it, but you have another option. You can put it up for sale.
Take the option.
Why
Put it
not?
up for sale.
Exercising
Sure, why
your
not?
option. Thank you
Right,
so
thank
much.
you.
And our number to call is 212-802-0082, which means you can bid on any item that our guest wants to put up for sale. Marion joins us next. Hi, Marion.
Hi, Claire.
Good to have you with us.
I'm glad to be here.
First time ever here?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to be here. What did you bring to be appraised?
These are old sunglasses that my husband got at an auction.
Mm-hmm.
And the case.
And the
Let's not forget the case.
The case can be worth
Yeah.
I
money.
love the case,
I think it's a fitted case, fitted specifically for these glasses.
and it's paper mache.
There's a little bit of a tab missing from it, but it's still worth including.
How do you
with
age the
glasses.
glasses and know when they were made?
Well, this says silver. The original ones of these were actually pewter, and they were loaned to you by the eye doctor after he put drops in your eyes, so that if you got a lot of brilliant light, it didn't hurt your eyes. So actually, these are not the typical type sunglasses. These were something a doctor had.
But how long ago were we talking?
Well, this set, what, 1880s probably?
Mm-hmm.
Very old.
Unusual.
Yeah.
And so they're actually part of a doctor's office or doctor material. And I'd put them at between $50 and $60.
Are there still a lot out there, or are they hard to find?
I see them. The earlier ones marked pewter are the ones that people really like to find. And they go up to $100 or $120.
50 to 75, Jerry?
About $100 because unlike Bob, I really don't see them.
In that price range, would you like to put them up for sale?
Yes, they'll be up for sale.
Oh, we'd be delighted to do that for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for visiting with us today.
Thank you.
And Michelle is joining us next. You were holding that vase very tightly. Like, let's not drop the vase. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
And what do you know about the vase?
Nothing.
Nothing. You've come to the right place to find out something. It's in your hands, Bob and Jerry.
1950s, made in Japan. A decorative item that many people had in their homes. Yes, it's marked on the bottom. They also came in wall pockets, I know, because my mom had one on the wall. And you pick them up at the local 5 and dime usually. What makes it interesting is the coloring, the black coloring makes it very interesting.
The seam mold on it, so it was mass produced. Unfortunately, I don't see a tremendous amount of value. I have them quite often in our sales, and they always bring under $25.
Yeah, about $25 is what they bring.
And in that price range, would you like to take some offers?
Yeah, I'll do like that.
We'll do that? Okay, thank you so much for being with us. And let's see what John Burke is up to right now.
John Burke is getting ready to send this thing out to Longwood, Florida, where Amanda is going to give us a sneak preview of the next item to be appraised. Hi there, Amanda. What do you have?
John, I have my F&B doll that I like to have praised coming up next on Personal FX.
They sleep, they play.
And they really come in all shapes and sizes.
From the smallest to the medium size.
And they really love us.
Absolutely.
Love them back. Only on FX.
David's training for the wrestling team. I am helping. Mom says that's why it's extra important to eat healthy. So everybody's eating more vegetables and stuff, like salad. Lots of it when it's got the dressing we all like.
Hidden Valley, just bursting with the garden fresh taste of herbs and spices.
Mom calls it power eating. I think it's working.
Hidden Valley Ranch. Good things grow in Hidden Valley.
They're still back there. Don't worry, love. You're riding in the world's first sport utility wagon.
I am.
That's right. This here's the all-wheel drive Subaru Outback.
That's great, but...
You know, it's got more cargo space than a passport.
Uh-huh.
The ground clearance of an Explorer.
Yeah, but...
Oh, and did I mention, it gets much better gas mileage than a Jeep Cherokee.
Outback, you say?
Subaru Outback. The world's first sport utility wagon.
He learned his trade from his daddy. You know, some days his shoulder would get so sore it would just about fall off. Well, he'd take 2 Tylenol, but hours later the pain would come back. He'd have to take more. He'd get frustrated, so our doctor suggested Aleve.
I can take just 2 Aleve all day. With Tylenol, I was taking up to 8.
So he tried Aleve. Keeps his pain away up to 12 hours. Helped more than you could fathom.
Don't get paid for doing nothing.
Aleve. All day strong, all day long. There's no more guessing about when your local forecast comes on the Weather Channel, because now we show it on the 8s of every hour. That means you can tune in at 8, 18, 28, 38, 48, or 58 minutes after the hour, and always get your local forecast. We call it Local on the 8s, weather you can plan on.
Uh-oh, just when you need them, your wipers never work. Don't wait till it's too late. Get Triple Edge wipers today. The patented Triple Edge outperforms all other wipers. Look, Triple Edge clears, cleans, then dries. Nothing works like Triple Edge. And they're made from Dow Corning silicone, so they last. Wipe away snow and ice. See clearly through that heavy downpour with Triple Edge. Get your Triple Edge wipers today, and we'll also include Triple Edge washer fluid absolutely free. All this for just $19.95, so call now.
From our super collector's house, he's amassed a collection of over 1,000 bottles, and we'll be seeing them in a moment. Welcome back to Personal FX. And during the break, I got a chance to talk to John. Now, how have you gotten most of the things that you've collected?
Just with ancestors, go way back.
What did your ancestors do for a living?
They were the Goddard family from Boston, Massachusetts.
And what did they...
They were sailing merchants.
Sailing merchants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that where you got this whale's tooth?
Yes.
During the break, you got an appraisal from our appraisers, and what did they tell you about it?
They said it was worth probably around $1,500.
$1,500. Wow. How old a piece is this?
I don't know. I think it could possibly be as early as 1840. The ship's name, IOA, is on there. And if it's from the 1840s, it could easily be $3,000 to $5,000. So it's a matter of identifying the tooth and what year we're talking about and what the history of the ship is.
So a little bit more research could be used, but were you interested in taking some offers on it?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that for you.
Thank
and
you.
our number to call is 212-802-0082. Bob, you're the walking book of knowledge, and you know, but I guess you can't know everything.
No.
Close, though. It's
Close.
as close as you get.
Almost.
Yeah. All right, let's go out to Florida where Amanda has been patiently waiting. Hi, Amanda. How are you?
Hi, fine, thank you, John.
Great. Tell us more about what you have there. It looks interesting.
Yes, I have an F&B doll. Her arms move, her legs move. She has a painted face and painted hair. On the back, we have her mark, F&B.
Sure.
I believe she has her original clothes.
Well, what do you two think of that?
Oh, I think I'm in love. That is such an adorable doll. This is F&B. It's all composition, probably like 1930s because it has the molded hair and painted eyes. Very desirable. What am I seeing on her finger? Is that a damage on her finger, on her right hand?
Right there, that's just a little nick. Okay. Yes, it is damaged.
Is there any other damage on her body that you know of?
No, there's not.
Okay. Then she's in fairly good condition if that's the only damage to her because they are rather fragile. And she's just adorable. And they sell for about $400 to $500 in this size.
Is that right? Yeah, and when she showed the back, it showed the large letters of F&B, which definitely puts it before World War II.
So those are the large letters there.
Right.
Yes.
And condition is superb because they start to deteriorate and fall apart with that type of age. And that's what makes it worth that much money.
So $400 to $500, you
yes.
agree? Okay, well, Amanda, we're hearing about $400 to $500. You're smiling. Do you want to take some bids? You want to hold on to it?
I'd like to take some bids, John.
All right, let's see what happens. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
And might I say, your nails look terrific.
Thank you, John.
Terrific looking nails. All right. And Paul now has joined us. Hey, Paul,
Hi,
how are
John.
you?
How are you?
Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Stony Brook, Long Island.
Welcome. Welcome. What do you have here?
I have a final engine and tender that I've probably had for about 25 or 30 years. Years ago when Lionel lost a lot of its desirability, I was able to pick up quite a few pieces for nothing or next to nothing. You know.
Great.
Gone are those days.
Oh, that's for sure.
And if you've had it 25 years, it was already about 25 years old maybe when you got it, because this is like from mid-1950s, 1958 or so.
No, they made this 57 through 60.
Okay.
57 to 60.
Yep.
How far wrong was I bought 1958?
You were right in there, I think.
Got to pick on that.
And this is Lionel, which is like just one of the most popular train manufacturers. And train collectors are very special because, as we've seen on our show, not only do they get to collect the trains, they get to play with them and have a great time. But this is one of the rarer ones, and it's an absolute mint condition.
And it came in two versions. The long and the short mark on the tender, and this is the short mark, which is, I believe, the least desirable. They like it where the mark goes from here to here, so it actually came in two versions. The engine's the same, but with the short mark on it, you'll find out that you're talking about $1,000 compared to, if it was the long stripe on the tender, maybe $1,400 or $1,500. So you're looking...
Yeah, I agree in principle, except in this condition with the boxes, $1,500 I think would be more like what I would put the two pieces at.
And I'm going to say 1,000.
Okay, so 1,000 to 1,500. Paul, you want to take some bids?
Certainly.
See what happens. Thank you, sir, for bringing those by. I appreciate those. Those are always real collectibles.
Yeah, the Norfolk and Western, very desirable line.
Thank you, Ed Ford.
Gorgeous train.
Jennifer now has joined us. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
Here come these tiles.
They're heavy.
Claire Carter claims they're worth about $2 million apiece, I think it was. Glad you're here today.
Don't quit your day job,
Well, you know,
Claire.
well, Claire had the right figure when she said $2 million. But it's the Turkish term, and I forgot what they call their money. But it's worth about $2 million something in their money.
In Turkish money?
In Turkish money.
Okay.
But I think that translates out to about $50 or $60 in American money.
Well, what are
each.
these? What do we have here?
Well, these came out of the Middle East, maybe Turkey. They are very much of a design from what we think of as Persia and Turkey. And tiles were made by all of the Middle Eastern countries in Spain, France. They were very easy to do. They would take them, form them, let them harden out of clay, then put a slip on them, which is the white material, paint it, and then put a glaze on and cook it in outdoor ovens. Today they still make the same thing, very decorative tiles. I think these possibly could be from 1920, 1930, but still I'd put a price on them about $60 a piece or $2 million, whatever.
Do you agree?
I'm right there. $2 million is right. About $60 to $75 each. They're great decorative pieces, the kind of thing you put one or two on a plain wall and it just makes the whole wall stand out.
Up to about $70 a piece. Unless, of course, you're in Turkey, then it's $2 million.
Absolutely.
Well, would you like to take some bids? You want to hold on to them? Take some bids?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for bringing those by. I appreciate that. So, Claire, the next time that you're telling us what the price is, would you mind clarifying the currency? That's all we need to know.
It was on the tip of my tongue, John.
Okay.
That was all.
All right, we're going to call Tony in here. So, Jennifer, if you'll take those that way, and let's see what Tony's brought. Hey, Tony, come on in. How are you?
Good.
Where are you from?
Hawthorne, New Jersey.
Great. Tell us what you have here.
This is a Collier's Pictorial History from Revolution to Date. It was published in 1915. There's a postcard.
This is interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this before. What do you think, Bob?
Well, it's one of the original books that Collier's issued during this time frame. 1914 to 1917, they came out with 4 different books like this. And what it was is to create and install the patriotism that was left over from the Spanish-American War, so that we were about to enter World War I, and it was to create this feeling among the American public that we were doing the right thing and the just thing. So this book was one of 4 that Collier issued. This is the hardest one to come by. And it is a beautiful history of the American battleship and ship and naval history during our period.
What's this thing that fell out? What is that?
Well, that's one of the original postcards which you could order some of the things, what every man should read. That was when you wanted to order it, again, to get that vigor out about us about to enter World War I.
It's called an ad card. We still get them in most of our magazines and books today.
I see. That's what that is. All right.
But the book itself is worth about $125, $150 on the open market.
Yeah, I'll go with that. And the condition, inside, beautiful condition, real sharp pictures, and a great history. Today we compare it to Jane's book of ships.
Oh, okay.
Which is a very popular book put out every year.
Up to about $150.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think? You want to take some bids?
Definitely.
Definitely.
And I also have another one in the series of the European War.
Does that change the value on this?
Well, no, but the
Okay.
European War is worth about $35 to $50. Not as desirable as
We'll take bids on this one, see
Thank
what
you.
happens. You can stay where you are, Tony, if you want. Let's go out to Florida right now. J.D. going to give us a sneak preview of today's super collection. J.D.?
Hey, John, we're finding out that there were all different uses for bottles and jars. Look at this. Now, it looks like a fruit jar with the flat side.
Yeah.
But what this is a unique mousetrap from 1909. Now, if you look inside, it's already rigged, and you would put your bait on that hook in there. And then when the mouse comes in, gets the bait, it would trip the door, and you would have the mouse contained in this jar, and then you would dispose of it without ever touching the mouse.
Amazing.
By the way, if you had rats, it came in the half-gallon version. Just a little inside information. We're going to take a look at more incredible antique bottles and jars coming up next on Personal FX.
There's action. Murder's dead. And a floor show? Why not? They're the hearts. Next, only on FX. FX is pleased to bring you a show about life.
It's about love and trust.
I don't want to talk about it.
It's about family.
Daddy just doesn't want me to grow up.
FX presents Life Goes On, every day at 2/1 Central, only on FX.
10, 9, 8, ignition, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, confirm ignition, and the thrust is go. Liftoff, power clear. It's gonna look like you're low on your oil.
Tefal, the #1 brand of nonstick cookware, is about to change cooking with this exclusive anti-warping stainless steel disc. This is Armor All. Inside, Armor All's unique non-stick surface stands up to scratches like never before. The result is a non-stick pan that's built to last, inside and out. That's Armor All, yours to depend on, from Tefal.
Pedigree provides all 5 building blocks of good nutrition. Protein for strong muscles, carbohydrates for energy, essential oils for a great coat, minerals for strong teeth and bones, vitamins for sharp eyes.
Pedigree, developed with vets, recommended by top breeders.
Every week, the Wilsons ate Chef Boyardee until one day a can of new Superiore ravioli dropped into Mrs. Wilson's bag. Superiore had a richer sauce and plumper ravioli. In fact, it's preferred nearly 2-to-1. New Superiore from Franco-American.
You've heard about Claritin. Now ask your doctor about Claritin D 24-hour.
Experiences.
A prescription medicine. It's as clear as day and night. Ask your doctor about Claritin D 24-hour.
A clear choice.
Claritin D 24-hour.
It's time to ask your doctor.
Call 1-800-CLARITIN today for a $5 coupon and free information.
You're ready to quit. Great. Now, which patch? Single strength Nicotrol? But that means one single step. If you're not comfortable with that, you may want Nicoderm CQ. CQ's a 3-strength program. You start with the highest strength and gradually step down till you free yourself of nicotine. And gradual is the method doctors and pharmacists prefer. Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to quit successfully.
One call to Big Powderhorn Lodging gets you If it's in Big Snow Country, our getaway planners can book it, rent it, and buy it for you. Big Powderhorn Lodging. Got a phone?
A gapper. That's today's FX Collector Speak word of the day. Now, a gapper was the name given to the master glass blower in early glass houses. And that is brought to you by Robitussin. A
Gaffer. I have to remember that name.
Yeah,
I'm a gabber, you're a gabber, but that's a gaffer.
That's a gapper.
We've got items up for sale, and the way the show works is we'll give you our telephone number in a moment, and you can bid on any of these items, starting out with the G.I. Joes, John's favorite dolls. We have 3 of them here. There's the pilot. One of them talks. We have the adventuresome G.I. Joe, worth about $500 to $600, and their clothing that goes with them as well. And then the sunglasses, which date back to the 1880s. It's interesting, John, at that time that the eye doctor put the drops in, and then you needed some silver sunglasses. $50 to $100 is the appraised value. We also have a hand-painted vase that is more common, so commonly priced at $25 from Japan from the 1950s. And then the whale's tooth, dating back to about 1840s. It does need some research. It could be $1,500, but it could be up to $5,000 depending on what ship it comes from.
There you
Isn't
go.
that something?
And we also have the F&B doll, and this is pre-World War II. It's in good condition. It's just a little bit of damage on one of the fingers there, and that was appraised at $400 to $500. We also have the Lionel engine, and this is marked short tender. There's actually 2 markings. This is the shorter one. This is from the 1950s, rare, mint condition, and that was appraised at $1,000 to $1,500 for that.
I went wow when I heard that appraisal, yes.
You went what?
Wow.
There it is, all right. We also have these ceramic tiles. There's 2 of them. These are from the 1920s, maybe 1930s. Turkish, decorative, and those are appraised at $60 to $75 a piece.
I've seen tiles like at the Pier Show in New York City, and they can go for a lot of money.
Sure, yeah, depending on where they're made and the quality. We also have the U.S. Navy book, and this is from the 1910s. This is one of 4. This is the most desirable. This is of naval history. It's in good condition, and this was appraised at $125 to $150.
So if you call now, you beat the last-minute rush toward the end of the show. Give us a call at 212-802-0082. I wonder if our super collector has any bottles like that were found in the water with a message inside.
Yeah, well, we can find out, see if there's any notes in any of these bottles. J.D.?
We've come to the right place. Did you find any bottles with messages inside?
Not a bottle.
Not a bottle.
Okay.
Just some that say, don't drink what's in here.
Right.
Now, John, you had mentioned earlier how he has his bottles displayed. And what's interesting is he has a technique so that you can read the writing on it. Now, if you look at this, this is a bottle that doesn't have any kind of the highlighting on it. And then, Carl, you highlight this with what?
Yes, with a water-based poster paint.
Right.
It'll wash right off, leave no residue.
No residue. So this is a way that when you're looking at the bottles, that you can read, clearly read what's on them.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
it doesn't take away from the value because you just literally
That's
just
correct.
rub it off,
That's
run it under some water.
That's great.
Okay, now let's take a look at some of his bottles. This is probably your oldest piece, right?
Yes, this is about 1740. It's a wine bottle. We believe that it's American. It's either American or English. We think that it was American.
And it's called a mallet?
It's called a mallet because of its shape.
It's shaped like a mallet.
Same shape as the mallet that the carvers used.
Now, when you're looking at this, how do you date it?
You date it by the shape of it, by the string lip, and by the pontil mark on the base of the bottle.
Okay, because what they would do is just break that off so you have kind of the jagged
They
glass.
put a pontil rod onto it to hold it so that they could form the lip and cut this off of the blowpipe.
Wow. Now, a bottle this old, what's the value of that ballpark?
It would be somewhere around $250. $250?
Wow. Now, look at this one down here. Tell us about this. again, you did the highlighting, which will wash right off, right?
This is William Radham's microbe killer and fungus destroyer because it cures all diseases.
Back then they had a lot of one thing that would cure everything.
That's right. In 1906, they passed the Pure Food and Drug Act. And in 1907, he was the second company that was brought before the Pure Food and Drug people. They found out that the contents of this bottle were 98.83% water with a trace of sulfuric acid, a trace of hydrochloric acid, and a touch of red wine for coloring.
Oh my gosh.
They said you could drink a boxcar load of it and it wouldn't do you any good or any harm. And it sold for $2 in the 1890s.
Wow. Amazing. So they discontinued these when?
Well, the Pure Food and Drug Act put almost all the bottles with the word cure on it out of business shortly thereafter.
Wow. Amazing. So this is fairly valuable, right?
Yes.
Now look at this one. This is interesting because you still have the box that it came in, and this is the original label. Tell us about this.
Well, this is Rhodes Fever and Ague Cure. That's a fever and chills type of thing. The paper wrapper that came on it here is dated 1851. And if we look at the base of this one, we can see that it has a large open panel or broken glass from the same thing as before, where they had to hold it some way so that they could do the top.
Now, these are the original contents?
The original contents and original label.
How come it hasn't crystallized? Just because there's not a lot of sugar in it?
Probably. There was more alcohol than sugar.
Hey! So that's why it's still liquid.
Yes.
Okay, now let's put this down right here and take a look at this one. Now this is an interesting flask. And I was asking the difference earlier about the difference between a bottle and a flask, and the flask has flat sides, right?
Yes, the flask has flat sides so it would fit in your pocket. And this was made in a glass company up by Baltimore, Maryland. It has a log cabin on the back of it, which may have been a holdover from the Tippecanoe and Tyler II political thing.
So what's the value of something like this?
That one in that particular color runs about $400.
Wow. That's interesting.
That is.
Now look at this. This is what's called a go-with. It's not actually a bottle, a functional bottle. It's got
made to look like a bottle. It's made out of brass, and it's not a bottle. It was an advertising piece. It was to sit on the counter, and it's Mother Siegel's curative syrup with a clock in it, and it cured dyspepsia, which was a sour stomach. And we call them go-withs because they're not actually bottles, but they go along with the bottle collection.
That's
Makes
great.
it more interesting.
And the date on this again?
The date on that would be 1890s.
So if you got a bottle that went with this, and you had the go-with, you got a nice piece.
It would increase the price of it.
That's great. All right, thanks a lot, Carl. That's just a look at a selection of some of Carl's unique bottles.
JD?
He has over 1,000, so we could be here all day. Yes,
I have a question regarding the mousetrap bottle from earlier. How hard is it to find something like that? Because I had a few mice in my kitchen that I could have used it for.
They're pretty hard to find. They're not rare, but they're very scarce.
But Claire, you know how you have to get rid of the mouse once you trap it?
How?
Put it in water, and it drowns.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
we don't know how cruel you want to be to those poor little mice.
No, I'm just going to send it outside. Leave the bottle
Right, she's going to let it freeze to death.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we'll thank you, JD, thank you, Carl. I tell you what, that collection up against that wall, that is just spectacular. It just
Isn't it nice with the lights back there? It's really, really well displayed.
If that was in my house, I'd be going, no, let's see, I got two brown ones together, better move it over here. I'd be there all day. It's a great collection. Thank you both very much. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Wait a minute, John. It was going to be 60 degrees today. The mouse would just be outside in the nice spring air.
Yeah. All right, folks, stay with us. When Personal FX returns, we're going to be talking about the contributions of black athletes from the past.
Glamorous Hollywood? Not to me. For me, it's long hours and strange locations. Can't get slowed down by irregularity. My doctor says exercise, eat right. But sometimes a meal is whatever you can grab between takes. My doctor suggested Metamucil, the only leading brand with 100% natural fiber, like the fiber in healthy foods. Keeps me regular, gently, so I can give my usual award-winning performance.
Metamucil, the doctor's natural choice for regularity.
Let me tell you about fish sticks. They're crunchy, and it tastes really good. You can pick them up. You don't have to chop it up like this, all to pieces. Then you dip it in. V-A-N, decant. I usually eat 4 or 5.
Vandecamps, the fish kids like to eat.
You should get your mom to get some.
Potato soup?
Actually, it's potato with roasted garlic.
Looks better than mine.
New Campbell's Home Cooking. Select ingredients create a taste like never before.
Like a taste?
Sure.
Honey?
Campbell's Home Cooking.
We both have colds. Find me up at Adam and I can't even get started. Why? Because last night he took NyQuil and I took these. So he got rested. I didn't.
It's NyQuil, the bright-eyed bushy-tail fully rested, so take it at night and have a good morning medicine.
One call to Big Powderhorn Lodging gets you. If it's in Big Snow Country, our getaway planners can book it, rent it, and buy it for you. Big Powderhorn Lodging. Got a phone?
So postmodern.
Personal FX is always on the road. In fact, we're going to be in San Antonio, Texas, the week of February 24th. We are already booked up for guests on location. And then we're heading March 3rd to the 7th to Portland, Oregon. Once again, the folks from Portland, we are booked. But it's not too late to join us March 10th through the 14th in Little Rock, Arkansas. All you have to do if you're a super collector, or you may just have one item that you want to have appraised, is call our Sprint sponsored number. That's 1-800-FX-FX-FX1. And welcome back to Personal FX. We have more appraisals on the way. Melanie is joining us in the rec room. Good to have you with us.
Thanks.
Nice to have you here. Where'd you get your lamp?
I got it on a, at a yard sale. My husband and I were coming up from down south. We just stopped in a farmer's market and having a yard sale.
How great a buy was it?
Very good, I think.
Want to tell us?
$10.
$10. What do you think, guys?
Well,
Good lighting.
We gotta, one thing you gotta think about is the fact the shade is so heavy in hobnail milk glass. that this particular style tipped over all the time and these were broken.
So to find these in good condition,
Well,
not easy?
Well, it's just that the shade in the 50s, typical, was so overpowering. This, yep.
It's okay, we'll save it.
Okay.
Yep, she'll save it.
Were these basically like medium-priced lamps at the time?
They were a decorative lamp that was very popular, just like the ones that you touch and they came on. They were a fad for about 3 years.
They were made to look like the old hurricane lamps. That's what the idea was with the font and everything. But basically they were just little lamps that you could stick any place, on a dresser in a bedroom.
Well, she paid $10 for it.
Well, she didn't go far from wrong with $10. I mean, it sells now for about $35, $45 because the shade is really very nice with the ruffled top.
Believe it or not, you can no longer buy this type of chimney, and they call it a pie crust chimney.
I believe it if you tell me.
All right.
Hey, if you'd like to put it up for sale, we'd be happy to do that for you.
Of course.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us today. And our number to call is 212-802-0082. Edward is going to join us next. Hi, Edward, and we're going to play some musical chairs in the rec room. Come on in. And what do you collect?
I collect toy soldiers and cowboys and Indians.
Got a lot of them?
About 500.
That's a lot. Please have a seat. Make yourself at home. And is this your family, or?
Yes.
Where did you get this?
I bought that at a house we were going to buy, and the deal fell through.
Oh, isn't that something?
But you got something out of the deal. Something for your trouble.
Well, I'll let you know after the appraisal.
Okay, so tell us what we're looking at.
You're looking at a print of great musicians that was very popular for the longest time because, as Bob says, everybody played an instrument at the turn of the century, so everybody was interested in music.
Yes.
And it's been heavily, heavily, heavily reproduced, and that's what this is, a copy.
What is it worth, Beth?
Well, under $50, but you've got all the greatest musicians or actually composers here that we talk about from Middle Europe.
In the
Beethoven.
$50 range?
Maximum 50 I put on it.
Yeah, with the frame and the glass. Yeah.
A house you were going to buy.
The house we were going to buy.
Would you like to put this up for sale?
Yes, I would.
Okay, we'll do that. Thank you so much for visiting with us today.
very welcome.
And Sharon joins us next with the tea set, is it?
No, it's a
What?
serving set for 8. I
Oh,
just
serving
brought
set for 8.
one setting with me.
And where'd you get it?
One of the patients I took care of was going to throw it in the garbage.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Just in the garbage?
Because nobody in the family wanted it because this one cup is broke.
And what about the rest? Are there any other
No,
cracks?
this
or?
is the only cup. That's why I brought it just to show you. That's the
Good
only
rescue.
Yeah.
Whenever we talk about such as this being a service for 8, when you have one piece damaged, the next service is 6.
Okay.
So we end up with a service of 6 in reality. Always count the number of cups. They're the things that got broken first.
Interesting. So what are we looking at?
Well, it comes with a vegetable bowl also and the cream, not the cream, yeah, the creamer.
Sugar
This
and
is sugar and
the
the
sugar.
creamer, right.
This is a sweet set. It's probably 1950s or 1960s.
We'll go
Does it
back a
tell us
little
right
later.
on there?
1933.
Are you letting everybody know that I can't see, Bob? You know I keep that secret. Yeah, you're right. So it was probably popular like in the 40s. And this is a company, Knowles is a company, American Dinnerware was their specialty. They were in business until like 1963. And they are starting to gain in popularity with
What is it
collectors.
worth today?
I would think a whole set maybe about $75 to $100.
And typical of the 30s, the square plate, the square saucer, the square bread plate.
75 to 100? Would you agree?
75 to 100, and figuring that it's really for a service for 6 people.
Okay, service for 6. Would you like to put the service for 6 that you rescued from the garbage up for sale? Yes. We'll do that. Thank you so very much. And let's toss this over to John for our continuing celebration of Black History Month. John?
All right, I'm here with Dr. Elvin Montgomery. Once again, sir, thank you so much for stopping by today. It's always a pleasure to have you here in the apartment.
Glad to be here.
Let's talk about the contributions of black athletes in America, and let's go way back now. Let's go back to the Negro Leagues. This is some stuff that is hard to find, I would guess.
Absolutely, highly desirable. A lot of it has been bought up. Every now and then you might be lucky to run upon something less than 3 digits, less than 4 digits.
Now, when were the Negro Leagues for a good review? When was that? When did that happen? And
the first 40 or 50 years of the 20th century in the segregation era prior to the 1950s, prior to really when Jackie Robinson integrated baseball and you had separate black teams.
Now, that's a guy that's actually kind of making a comeback. As a matter of fact, here's some current things here.
Sure. He'll always be popular. He was the original crossover in sports, at least in baseball, which is the American national pastime.
It's interesting when you talk about heroes, especially with baseball, you can't get away from Satchel Paige either.
Oh, yes. Just talent and pitching, that's all you can say for a long, long time. And recent movies, etc., and exhibitions have pointed that out.
Well, now, what is this and what is the value of this here?
This is Satchel Paige's biography. It's from the 40s. It's a little pamphlet, etc. I would say this is about 75 to 125. It's one of the original he put out. There were several.
Now, when you talk also, I guess, about sports, you have to get into boxing as well. And here we have the greatest of all time.
Okay, yes. Well, Muhammad Ali, as you know, was not only a great boxer, he was a great spokesman and a poet and a personality in his own right. And what he said was as important as what he did with his fists.
And as with Jackie Robinson, I guess with the Olympics that we just had, he's also making sort of a comeback with his popularity coming to the
Well,
forefront.
actually, he never was gone. It's just that his popularity gets higher, and then sometimes it gets higher than it used to be.
And what's collectible about these photographs also is that these are private moments with him. These are kind
Sure, yeah. Most boxing photographs are the boxers not only in uniform, but in the traditional boxing stance. When you see them in their private lives, when you see them doing things ordinary people do, when you see their real personalities, it's a lot more interesting and a lot harder to find.
Here we have a ticket stub with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. What would this be worth today?
Sure. Well, this is probably in the $40 to $75 range, at least it was a couple of years ago. The interesting thing about these is that these give you access to a specific event, the outcome of which was not known when the ticket was printed.
Now let's talk about basketball. Certainly with athletes today, they're really enjoying the fruits of of the labor of those that have gone before them. Someone like Michael Jordan is marketed all over the place, but he wouldn't be really, or the NBA wouldn't be that way without people like, say, Dr. J.
Yep. There were many, many, many great basketball players, and I have to say basketball is beginning to supplement baseball, certainly in terms of black athletes, but in terms of today's market, especially things like basketball cards, Jordan is it. However, there are so many great basketball players who are of African descent, you just have to figure out where to start. Well, the 60s is a good place to start.
We have, don't we have some things from the Harlem Globetrotters here?
Sure.
And local teams, I guess, are really
This one, for example, is a program from the 50s from the Globetrotters, who are not only great players, they are musicians and great, comedians and great entertainers. Here's one that's kind of really interesting. This is an original envelope from the Harlem Wrens, who in the 40s and 50s were well known.
It's interesting. We're looking at a lot of ephemera, and I guess when it comes to what we're talking about here today, that's what's most prevalent out there, is the ephemera.
Well, a lot of the events are recorded in paper form, but there are other things.
For instance, the basketball. Tell me about the
basketball.
basketball.
Oh, yes. Well, this is very desirable. This is a Knicks basketball from the 1960s. It's signed. Hard to get, and I have real trouble parting with this one, I have to tell you. Yes.
I see you're holding it carefully there. Dr. Montgomery, we have to run. I know we could go on all day because we have Joe Lewis stuff here too, but thank you so much for coming in and helping us celebrate.
All right, it was fun.
It always is. All right. Folks, don't go away. We have more appraisals and great stuff coming your way when Personal FX returns. Stay with us.
The guy who brought you 90210 and Melrose Place. Now you can see Vegas at no extra charge.
That is crazy.
Dan Tana and Vegas, weekdays at 10, only on FX.
I'm Betty. This is Pat. Hi. We're the Reynolds Wrap Kitchen's home economists. To show the best way to wrap sandwiches, we put one in Reynolds Wrap, the other in a plastic sandwich bag. Pat's gonna field test them. How's they hold up? Looks like Reynolds Wrap is the best wrap for your kids' sandwiches. One more reason, Reynolds has it all wrapped up.
If you want whiter teeth, is it worth paying so much more for Rembrandt?
The stuff works better, right?
Wrong. Not even Rembrandt can whiten better than Aquafresh whitening.
What's so special about Aquafresh whitening?
A patented tricline formula safely breaks up stains to help get your teeth their whitest. It's tough on stains, yet gentle on your teeth.
So why am I paying twice as much for Rembrandt?
Try Aquafresh whitening instead.
Aquafresh whitening, safe to use every day for dazzling whiter teeth.
You know, meat's a dog's natural food. Meat's what they love. So that's why I feed mine Pedigree, the #1 meat dog food in America. It's 100% complete and balanced and keeps them in great shape.
Pedigree, developed with vets, recommended by top breeders.
Dive in, Snoopy. Devour those crunchy Milk-Bone biscuits. Dazzling. What's that stupid beagle dreaming about? I have no idea.
Milk-Bone, give your dog something to smile about.
At the Kylie's, the bread is fresh, the vegetables hot, and there's only one Mrs. Kylie's casserole. And there's only one TV in the entire house hooked up to their satellite dish. So if you're ever at the Kylie's and want to watch your favorite show after dinner, remember, it's first come, first served. Not so with cable. Cable lets everyone watch what they want, where they want, all at the same time, at a fraction of the cost of satellite TV. TCI, we're a little more down to earth.
Hey, I'm sure you've heard that Madison's the #1 city in the country. It must be because of the restaurants. I hear that there's more restaurants per capita than any other city in the U.S. How will I choose? I know. Watch Capital Cuisine. Where are you going to eat? Watch Capital Cuisine, 9 o'clock nightly, cable channel 15. It's delectably local.
Welcome back to Personal FX. There was some good memorabilia that you just looked at.
And it goes on and on. Joe Lewis, Jesse Owens, all those guys. You can talk about that stuff forever. It's great.
If you can find it and the price is right.
That's right. That's exactly, if you can find it.
Right. Okay. And we'll find out if the price is right for some of these items that are up for sale. We're getting bids currently on the following items, starting out with our G.I. Joe dolls. There are 3 of them. One's a pilot and one does talk. Worth about $500 to $600 for all 3. It does come with clothes. And then we have the silver sunglasses that date back to the 1880s. Back in the days when you go to the eye doctor, he put in some drops and gave you some sunglasses, and the case is made of paper mache. Worth about $50 to $100. We saw a hand-painted vase that has an appraised value of just about $25 because it is very common, made in Japan in the 1950s. And then we have the whale's tooth dating back to the 1840s. A little bit more research is needed. We're not sure of the exact ship where it came from. $1,500 appraised value could be worth up to $5,000.
But wait, there's more. We also have the Lionel engine and tender, and this is from the 1950s. It's rare, it's in mint condition, short marked, and this was appraised at $1,000 to $1,500. And we also have the 2 ceramic tiles there. These are Middle Eastern, decorative, and these are from the 20s to the 30s, and these were appraised at $60 to $75. We also have the U.S. Navy book, and this is from about the 1910s. It's one of 4, and it's the most desired. It's of naval history, and this was appraised at $125 to $150. And we also have the glass lamp, and this is from the 1950s, and this is a heavy shade, popular in its time, appraised at $45 to $50.
Okay.
And did you know that if you got a pair of Muhammad Ali boxing trunks that he wore, it was worth $10,000?
Thank you. Good to know something like that. And by the way, did you know it's not too late to join the bidding process? All you have to do is call us at 212-802-0082. And shall we go to the mailbag?
Let us go to the mailbag
and see what we've got. We've got a letter from Richard Cassone from Bristol, Connecticut, who writes, "Enclosed, please find photos of an ashtray stand that I inherited from my mother. It stands 28.5 inches tall, is made of some kind of metal. The base and the top of the dish are magnetic. I believe the base may be marble and is illuminated. The inscription on the back reads, Everlight Manufacturing, Brooklyn, New York. Can you please tell me the value?"
Art Deco.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
And of course, part of it is a base or pot metal, and part of it's iron, which the magnet sticks to. Classic design.
Classic design. If they're not holding a globe that's the light, they're holding an ashtray. Very desirable. They run about $250 to $300 in good condition.
Yeah, I'd say $200 to $250.
In that price range. I see Art Deco for lots of high price ranges as well. Richard, thank you so much for your letter.
And now on the phone from Slainsville, West Virginia, Deborah Hall has joined us. Hi, Deborah. How are you?
Hi, fine.
Great. Tell us what you'd like to have appraised today.
Well, I have a silver vase, and it was given to my husband about 15 years ago as a thank you gift. I'd like to know what it's worth.
All righty, let's see. The bottom of the piece is marked WMFBX/O, and it measures 10.5 inches tall. It's made of some kind of metal. What do you think?
A type of silver plate, European.
Cherubs, Victorian.
Turn of the century, 1890.
Deborah wrote now she believes that it might be German. So
okay, German, Austrian. Something like this, you really have to get a real good close-up look of the detail on the cherubs. But I think you're looking at a $250, maybe even $300 vase, depending upon the detail and whether it's an original casting.
And depending upon the finish on the metal, about $350 to $400.
Okay. Well, Deborah, do you want to take some bids on that? You want to hold on to it?
I think I'll hold on to it.
All right. Thank you so much for being on the line. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay. For those of you who are interested in how this works, a lot of people who are on the phone, we don't have a chance to get their big bid by the end of the show, but we do keep the phone lines open for another half hour after the show. So in case you're concerned about that, there you go. It does get done.
Okay, another half hour.
That's right.
The people who want to put their items up for sale do get a chance. And for those of you who have items in your own house that you'd be interested in having appraised, and if you can't get to New York City, don't mail us the item, don't take a Polaroid picture, but do take a regular picture or a videotape, and they can send us the information about the item, whatever you know about dimensions, size, history, to the following address.
Here it is, right here. Personal Effects of the Collectibles Show, P.O. Box 825, Madison Square Station, New York, New York, 10159-0825.
Was that mouthful we got out?
We got it out.
When we come
right.
back, it's big bid time. Stay with us.
What does it take to understand your pet?
Watching the pet department may not turn you into Dr. Doolittle.
Say but you will understand why he does what he does a little better.
Watch the pet department every day only on FX.
Next on Fix It, recycled homes and putting down linoleum will also fix a leaky shower head.
Jeff, would you hand me a wrench?
Sure thing.
This is a screwdriver.
Oh, I knew that.
Fix It today at 3:30, 2:30 Central.
If your plastic diaper can't breathe, there's no need to feel blue. Make a wish for the one that lets fresh air flow through. Welcome Breathable Huggies Supreme. It's the only diaper that breathes all over, not just on the sides, so air flows through to baby's skin. Supreme helps keep baby dry, and healthy skin is dry skin, still with remarkable leakage protection. It breathes all over, no diaper can compare. Breathable Huggies Supreme, the ultimate in care.
I know that everybody's talking about wrinkles, but when I look in a mirror, I see gravity kicking in.
Night of Olay.
I cannot fight the force of nature all by myself.
Not just a wrinkle cream, Night of Olay infuses skin with replenishing moisture, firming as you sleep for more toned, resilient skin overnight.
The most important thing I can do for my face, and I get to sleep right through it.
Firmer skin overnight. For a lifetime of beautiful skin. Night of Olay.
The unexplainable. The undeniable. The truth is on video. Own the newest X-Files collection. 2 all-new episodes on each tape. Own the experience.
Your mom says Crispix won't get soggy in milk. Highly unlikely, Susan.
Yeah, highly unlikely.
See, it starts out crispy, but I'm still skeptical.
Me too, I'm still skeptical.
Kellogg's Crispix cereal. Delicious corn and rice that stays crispy to the end. Okay, last bite, Soggy City. Hey, it's still crispy.
Told ya.
Told ya.
Crispix. Crispy to the end. You're turning on me.
Every week, the Wilsons ate Chef Boyardee until one day a can of new Superiore ravioli dropped into Mrs. Wilson's bag. Superiore had a richer sauce and plumper ravioli. In fact, it's preferred nearly 2-to-1. New Superiore from Franco-American.
Did you know itchy, dry winter skin can get worse from hot water and soap? Did you know sometimes moisturizers aren't enough to heal itchy patches of dry skin? And did you know, among these, only Cortisone 10 with aloe has a medicine to stop itch and help heal. So this winter, when you have itchy patches of dry winter skin, even eczema or psoriasis, remember the power of 10. Cortisone 10. Powerful itch relief for the power to heal.
It's so postmodern. Welcome back to Personal FX. Let's all turn and wave this way and thank Dr. Elvin Montgomery for coming in today. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
It's always good to see you. Okay, let's get started with these big bids. Jeff with the G.I. Joes. Paul from Albany, New York called in with an offer of $330.
I'll think about that.
Think about that one. Okay, Marion with the sunglasses. Eileen from Henderson, Nevada called in with an offer, $125.
So.
Look at this lineup here. Look at this. Right. Michelle with the vase. Jennifer from St. Louis Park, Minnesota called in with an offer of $40.
Sold.
John with that whale's tooth. Conrad from Cheyenne, Wyoming called in with an offer of $1,500.
No.
No, that's a no. All right. Paul with the Lionel engine. Dan from Pekin, Illinois called in with an offer of $400.
No.
No. Okay.
Definite no. And Jennifer, your lovely tile, Susan from Potomac, Maryland, would like to offer $253.12. Sold. Oh. Tony for the U.S. Navy book. Larry from Tacoma, Washington is offering $200.
Sold.
Melanie for your glass lamp. Robbie from Houston, California is offering $80. Sold. 3 in a row. Edward for the Great Musicians print. Linda from Escondido, California would like it for $50.
No.
Don't think about it.
No. We don't have to think about going to John Davis. J.D., a wonderful job as always. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claire. Tomorrow we'll be in Orlando with what else? A Donald Duck collection. And we want to thank Carl for showing us his incredible bottle collection. And if you want more information about bottles, call the show. We'll hook you up with Carl.
Sounds good. Thanks, JD. See you tomorrow.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay. That is our show for today. Thanks so much for watching. You bet we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day.